One greetings from the High 10. This is Angela from Everyday Shenanigans on Friday, October 9th, 2020. I'm bringing you back-to-back videos today on this gloomy day in the High 10. Thanks for joining me. I want to bring you some mess and shenanigans out of the state of Georgia. Once again, yes, more buffoonery from some fools. I'm going to bring you the said information. MSN.com is the source. Explosive text found on phone of suspect in Amaud Arbery murder case. Kevin Go, the attorney for William Roddy Bryant, sat down with 48 Hours contributor and CBS News correspondent Omar Villafranca for his first network interview to discuss the events that led to Amaud Arbery's death. According to Gall, on the day of shooting, Bryant was at home, minding his own business, when he saw a truck he recognized chasing a man he didn't know, I guess. Not good English in this article. So he got into his own truck and began following as an other patriotic American would have done under the same circumstances. Maybe not. Why did he record it? Villafranca asked. Why not? Gold answered. It was Brian who used his cell phone to record the searing video of Arbery being shot to death. The interview was part of an all-new 48 Hours episode, Justice for Amaud, airing Saturday, October 10th at 10/9 on CBS, 9 Central Time, On February 23rd, 2020, the day he was shot and killed, Amaud Arbery was seen jogging in Satilla Shores, a waterfront neighborhood of Brunswick, Georgia, where Brian lived, along with two other suspects in the case, a father and son named Gregory and Travis McMichael. A security camera showed that Arbery stopped a few minutes inside a house under construction before resuming his job that day. Gregory McMichael later told authorities he thought Arbery was a suspect in a series of break-ins in the neighborhood, although there is no evidence Arbery was involved. Gregory and Travis McMichael told police they armed themselves, got into a pickup truck, and tried to catch Arbery, and that's when Gall said Roddy Bryant decided to follow along. Gall insisted Bryant has never been more than a witness to this shooting, but prosecutor Jesse Evans, who also spoke with 48 Hours, disagreed, saying, "We think he's an active participant." Evans contends Bryant was so active that Bryant tried to box Arbery in with his truck, and authorities say Arbery's palm print found near a dent on the truck suggests Bryant actually hit Arbery with the vehicle. Gall disputes that. The jury's going to look at the facts of this case, and they're going to conclude that whether Amaud Arbery was white, black, or Martian, that Roddy Bryant wouldn't have acted any differently on the day in question, he said. So now we're comparing black, white folks and a Martian. Okay. Ridiculous. But just 2 weeks ago, prosecutors notified the court they intend to introduce trial evidence of past racial slurs investigators found on Roddy Bryant's phone, a warning that the language is graphic. A text sent from Roddy Bryant's number on Martin Luther King Day this year reads, quote, "I bet y'all are truly having a monkey parade over there." And the racial slurs don't stop there, so Gold says the texts are being taken out of context. "I've got multiple pages of him using the N-word, and that doesn't make him a racist?" Villafranca asked. "No, sir," said Gold. "Do you use that word?" Villafranca later inquired. "I mean, feel free to use it on national TV right now, Kevin. If you think it can be used in a proper context. It's not a word I would use," Gold responded, "but I'm not Roddy Bryant." Bryant has pleaded not guilty to charges of felony murder and criminal intent to commit false imprisonment in the death of Amaud Arbery. The McMichaels have pled not guilty to felony murder and aggravated assault. That information brought to you is by MSN.com. So now the state has information about text messages on the said man's phone, and the N-word's being used, and he's using not so nice commentary about African American people. Let's just be truthful. I don't even have to go back and read it because this is stupid. Who are you talking to, and who are you referencing about on Martin Luther King's Day? Or as black folks would say, Martin Luther the King. What in the hell you got to say about, bet y'all having a good time over there, a monkey parade? How in the hell would anybody read that and not think you were making a racial slur pertaining to black people, African American people. Let's just keep it real. Because you know I don't sugarcoat nothing over here. You said what you said, and you meant what you said. That's why you wrote it. That's why they tell people right now, when you type in things on social media, in your cell phone, via the telephone number, texting, via Messenger, be it on Facebook, Instagram, whichsoever, you wrote it, and that's what you meant. You said it because that's what you meant. You identifying black people as monkeys, you said it because you meant it. Now, it has been relayed that Amaud palm print was on the bumper of your car. How did it get there? Maybe the Martian put it there. So why does Lord want to talk all this junk about his client said this, didn't mean this, blah, blah, blah? You know don't nobody care nothing about that. My main concern right now is this. The 12 members of the jury. Because Georgia, for those of you who don't know, has not been too kind to my kind. And when you start going way, way, way down to the middle and the bottom of Georgia, it don't show black folks no favor. And a lot of those people, white people, are old-timey white folks that have old backwoods thinking and old-timey slavery thinking. Yes, I said that in 2020. So the fact that he now wants to try to dismiss himself from being involved in the crime of shooting this man, you blocked that young boy in with that car. You were there. You jumped your nosy tail up and went and jumped in your truck and followed suit, filming. Why would you be filming? You saw what was going on. You should have told your friend, I ain't signed up for this. I'm not getting involved in this. You on your own. Because I don't know nothing about this young man. I don't know what he did, didn't do, and I'm not about to sit here and film nothing. But see, this is what happens when people get messy. And I have seen this with my own two eyes of Caucasian people being very messy in said situations. They go looking for trouble, and they find it. Yes, they do. Messy people. And yes, I know all races are messy. But I have seen with my own eyes Caucasian people being very messy in situations that did not concern them. And then when the bag drops, now they want to bow out and don't want to be involved, don't want to testify, don't want to give the 411, want to try to sugarcoat it, want to try to slather it over with some type of mayonnaise and butter and act like nothing happened. But see, this is what happens when you go looking for trouble. You should stay in your lane. You didn't have no business running out there jumping in your truck. You had no business filming it. Then now, you've been implicated and charged with a crime. Now you want to act like, oh, wasn't me. I was just being a good citizen, patriotic. No, you weren't. You were being messy. And now they've got commentary of you talking bad about African-American people, calling them monkeys, and making light of Martin Luther King Day and parade. You said what you said because that's how you feel about black folks. So now you've been implicated in the murder of a young black boy. Now you want to bow out. Well, you should have thought about that when you got involved. I don't believe in this BS. I'm sick of folks right now. Anybody that knows me, a lot of you out there in La La Land don't know me personally, but the Queen don't like foolishness and shenanigans. That's why I named the channel what I did. Everyday shenanigans, because that's all that's going on out here. Craziness, foolishness, mayhem, nasty remarks, nasty attitudes, narcissistic behavior, God complex, which I've met a lot of people who think they God, but they ain't. And it's only when you get, what's the word? Indicted for murder, manslaughter, wanton endangerment, you get taken down a peg or two. Shut your mouth. Homeboy, just admit you went along for the ride. You got yourself in something that didn't concern you. You willingly went. You were glad to go. You were glad to ride the ride. And now you've been indicted. So deal with it. And that's just how I feel. Call a spade a spade. Georgia don't play. I can tell you that right now. I live in a red state. I live in the South. And here in the South, there are places I wouldn't take a dog, let alone being a black person, walking or riding in a vehicle. I said it. And most people know that they live in the South. There's certain places here in the South, white people are scared to go. And I had a white man tell me that a year ago. He said it out of his own mouth, a professional. He said, there are places here I would not go alone, would not feel safe to go. Hell, I'm only concerned about the 12 members. Will they be an all-white jury, mixed jury? What is their demeanor, their attitude? Because we already know people will not tell the prosecuting attorney that they have mixed feelings about other races. They will not ever tell that they ever use the N-word. They will never say they talk bad about Hispanics, Jews, Arabs, the welfare system. Yeah, I'm throwing it all in there. I said it. They'll just sit on that jury, la-di-da, knowing they don't like black folks, and be glad to bring the hammer down on a black person being on trial and or let a white person go free for a said crime. And I'm saying it because it happens every day. Why you think you got jury members and the grand jury now wanting to speak up about what's transpired in the jury proceedings of Breonna Taylor? You just think two people out of the blue all of a sudden wanting to talk? Think about what they have to say. There's a reason they want to talk. Because maybe they see and saw and heard some things that wasn't proper, that wasn't introduced, and they're leery now. See, that's what I keep trying to tell you, folks. There's a lot of BS going on in the world. And you don't hear the BS until after the fact, when the envelope's been sealed, and you can't go back. Prayers to the Arbery family. Praying for justice for this young man. As they stated in the said article and many articles, there's never been any proof that this young man was robbing homes in the said area of the town. And he was just being nosy himself, looking at a house that hadn't even been built. It was down to the studs. At the time, he was peeping and peering. And many people do be nosy when houses are built. Even when the houses are up and there's no furniture in them. You just like to look, ride by, just to see. Doesn't mean you're trying to break in. And that's why I keep telling you all, everything is about perception and interpretation. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Thanks for joining me. Mask up, stay safe. God bless America. Thank you all for subscribing, watching, sharing. Love you guys. Hello, Miss Jean. Hope you're well. Thank you all so much for the kind words. Stay in the know. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is key, everybody. I'm out of here. Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.